come to a seated position on your mat, just begin to find your foundation, find your alignment. Maybe add a little bit of movement in your shoulders, your neck, just waking up the upper part of our spine. Do what feels right. And then come into stillness and begin to slow and deepen your breathing. Let each breath be completely intentional. And though we don't try to control it, can you be a part of every part of it, rather than letting your body sort of absent-mindedly do what it usually does? Can you tap into all of it, experience it all, tap into the sensations, and allow yourself to feel. When we tap into the present moment, when we tune into our bodies, we allow ourselves to make the most of each and every moment. Making the most of a moment does not look like doing the most. It doesn't look like being the most. Making the most of each and every moment looks like tapping into it and feeling. Press your palms together at heart center, and as you do, press your shoulder blades together onto your back. Take a deep breath and then bow into your heart and thank yourself for coming to your practice today. Roll forward onto your hands and knees. In a tabletop position with your toes curled under, just paw your hands into the mat for a moment, always finding our foundation. Maybe claw your fingers into the mat, allowing you to almost suction cup your palms. Inhale, scoop your spine, lifting your tailbone, lifting your gaze, cow pose. And exhale, curve your spine towards the ceiling, gaze looks in, tailbone draws in. This is your cat pose. Inhale, back to cow. And exhale to cat. See if you can find a little swing in this transition. Continue pulsing with your breath from cat to cow, breathing. Add a little bit more swing and movement. Bending your elbows as you scoop into your cow pose and swinging back and up into your cat pose. We're warming up the spine. One more breath. And then come into a neutral spine. Lift your knees just a micro inch off the mat, activating your core. Lift them another inch, and then send your hips up and back. Maintain a really strong bend in your knees, almost allowing your stomach to rest on your thighs, maybe not completely. And see if you can shine your hips up and back even more. Breathe into the backs of your legs. As you press into your hands, bring your shoulder blades together onto your back. and allow your heels to draw towards the mat. Breathe. Inhale your right leg back behind you. Exhale, bend your knee and open and stack your hips. Look under your left armpit to evenly weight through both of your hands. Inhale, lift your right leg back behind you. And exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your left heel so you're in a front heel to back arch alignment. And inhale your arms up parallel to the earth, pointing to the front and back of the room. Warrior two. Lunge into your front leg. Have your tailbone drawing down. Allow your hips to open up to the wall beside you. And lunge into your front leg. Gaze looks over your fingertips. Straighten your front leg, lift your arms, palms together, and exhale, lunge into your front leg back to warrior two. We're going to do a few pulses like this. Follow your breath, inhaling to extend your leg, exhaling back into warrior two. Slow your breathing down even more. Slowing your movements down. The next time you inhale with your arms up, keep your legs straight and extend your arms into a warrior two pose. Shift your fingertips forward and then allow your right fingertips to head towards the earth as your left fingertips go up towards the ceiling. You can grab a block here or you can rest on any part of your leg so long as you make a micro bend in your knee so we're not hyperextending it back. This is your triangle pose. See if you can draw your shoulder blades together even more, opening up to the side of the room. Breathe here. Soften your face. See if you can invite a smile. You should be feeling a juicy stretch along the left side of your body. One more breath. Bend into your front knee, plant your hands to frame your front foot, and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet for a moment, press into your hands, shoulder blades come together. And then come into stillness with your feet. As you push into your hands, let your heels draw towards the mat and breathe. Imagine you can breathe your air into the backs of your legs, massaging from the inside. Inhale your left leg back behind you. Bend your knee, open and stack your hips, and look under your right armpit, allowing you to evenly weight in both hands. Extend your left leg back behind you and exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right heel so you're in a front heel to back arch alignment. And inhale your arms parallel to the earth, pointing to the front and back of the room. Lunge into your front leg, warrior two. Make sure your back thigh is strong. The back of your back thigh almost magnetizing to the wall behind you. Draw your tailbone down and breathe. Inhale, extend your front leg, lift your arms, palms to touch. Exhale, lunge into your warrior two. Pulse like this, following your own unique rhythm of breath. And see if you can slow it down even more. do 3 more breaths like this. For this last one, can you slow it down even more? The next time you inhale, keep your front leg straight. Exhale your arms to warrior 2. Shift your front fingers forward, and then allow your front fingertips to head towards the earth, or your shin, or a block, as your right fingertips go up towards the ceiling. This is your triangle pose. Bring your shoulder blades together onto your back, opening up to the side of the room. If you're able to, you can look up towards your top fingertips. Maintain a micro bend in your front knee so we don't ever hyperextend our legs. That's how we cause knee injuries. So always maintain engagement. See if you can soften your face and smile here. When things get tough in life, can you soften? Can you find your peace? Bend into your front knee, plant your hands, and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here. And then come high onto the ball mounds of your toes and swing your heels over to the right. Come high onto your toes. Swing your heels over to the left. This is giving you a little stretch on the sides of your body. Just swing your heels back and forth for a moment. Look up towards your toes, your hands, and step or hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Breathe for a moment, let yourself hang. Micro bend in your knees. And just let your torso hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades come back, neck draws back. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank. You can drop your knees if you need to. Lower down, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Press into your hands. Give yourself a little back bend, cobra. Lower down. And roll over your toes and back into downward facing dog. Drop your heels wider than hip width apart. Bring your big toes together. Sit your glutes back towards your feet. You can extend your arms out in front of you, or if you have a shoulder injury, bring your arms back behind you and let your forehead rest on the mat. This is your child's pose. This is a yin position. Yin is the feminine aspect. The feminine is soft. It receives. Can you receive this pose, gently nurturing your body after doing a little bit of work? Press up through tabletop position and back through downward facing dog. This time bend into your knees generously and walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Palms together and exhale, hands down through heart center and alongside your hips. If you need to, for this pose, face a balancing object like a dresser, your bed, or have some blocks in front of you. Starting from mountain pose, excuse me, have your feet right underneath your hips. Maybe just pedal your feet for a moment. Finding the four corners, lift your toes. Gently relax them down, maintaining the engagement of your arches. Draw your tailbone down. Reduce the curve in your low back by just shifting your belly button to your spine without tucking your tummy, so you can allow your belly to inflate with your air. Draw your shoulders back together, allowing your palms to flip open to the sides of the room. Draw your neck back and the crown of your head up. Take a moment to breathe in mountain pose. Shift your weight to your left foot. See if you can lift your right foot off the ground slightly. Begin to bend into your left knee, and as you do, cross your right ankle over your left knee and reach for your blocks. This is your standing figure four. Imagine drawing your right hip back. You can also, from here, wrap your arms around your foot and your knee from your bent leg. And imagine sitting back into a chair. You definitely don't need to hold your leg if you need to hold your balancing object. Breathe here. You should feel a juicy stretch along the outside of your right glute. Beautiful. Flex your right toes towards your knee if you're not already, activating the folded leg. Then extend your left leg, bring your right foot to meet your left and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms down through heart center and alongside your hips. Feel your mountain pose again. Close your eyes and take a moment just to feel the difference between your legs that you've just created. With a desire to create balance. Shift your weight into your right leg. Begin to lift your left leg right off the ground. Bend your right knee, and as you do, cross your left ankle over your knee. Flex your left foot towards your left knee and sit into your standing figure four. Reach for your balancing objects. Send your left glute down and back, really amplifying this stretch. And breathe. You're doing great, everyone. Can you sit your glutes back even more, like you're about to sit into a chair? Soften your face. Activate your breathing. Your breath is your strength and it is your softness. It is our best tool. One more breath here. Begin to extend your standing leg. Drop your left foot to meet your right and forward fold. With a bend in your knees, it allows your torso to hang even more. So give yourself a micro bend. And just let yourself hang out for a second. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank position. You can drop your knees if you need to. Tuck your elbows into your sides and lower down. Chaturanga. Untuck your toes, press into your hands. Give yourself a back bend, cobra or upward facing dog, lifting your thighs off the ground. Curl over your toes and back into downward facing dog and breathe. Drop your knees right underneath your hips. Keep your toes curled under. Keep your sitting bones above your knees instead of sending them back towards your heels. And see if you can extend your arms out in front of you and then melt your heart to the earth. You can tent your fingers here if that feels accessible to you. If this is difficult, you can send your glutes further back towards your feet. This is extended puppy dog pose. Give yourself a little sway here, massaging your back with your wing bones. Come into stillness and breathe. Come to sit onto your feet with your toes curled under in your thunderbolt posture. Maintain the strength of your feet, allowing them to also stretch. Maybe you can't put all your weight on your feet right now. Honor what you feel. Never lead yourself into pain. Discomfort creates growth. Pain creates injury. Untuck your toes and sit back onto your feet, giving your knees and your thighs just a little bit of a stretch. Widen your legs and your feet so you can sit in between them. If you need to, grab a block to sit on. This is your hero pose. If you're able to, you can begin to lean back, perhaps onto your elbows, or all the way back onto the floor if you're able to. And breathe. Slowly walk yourself back up if you're reclined and forward on through tabletop position. And then come to sit onto your glutes. Have your left shin parallel with the mat, in the front of your mat, or the wall in front of you. And then take your right foot, stack it onto your knee, and have your right knee stack over your left foot. This is your fire log pose. I'm just shifting forward to find my sitting bones. Always find your foundation in every pose. Grow long and tall. Crown of your head lifts. Flex your toes towards your knees. If you're able to here, you can begin to lean forward. Maybe resting your elbows onto the ground in front of you. Sending your glutes back and giving yourself an even more of a stretch here. Soften your gaze and breathe. Walk your hands up. Uncross your legs. Give them a little bit of a shake in front of you. And bring your right shin parallel to the mat in front of you, flexing your toes. Bring your left foot onto your right knee, stacking your right knee right over top of your left foot. Always find your foundation. Grow long into your alignment. Soften and breathe. You can weight a little bit of your hands onto your knee and your foot if it helps just bring that stretch more to life. And if you're able to, you can begin to lean forward while you send your glutes back. Breathe into your hip and your glutes. Remember your Ujjayi breath, which is almost like a sigh when you have your mouth closed, and even when you inhale. Can you tone at the back of the throat slightly, making your breath audible? Energetically draw your glutes back. Activates this stretch even more. Walk your hands up. Uncross your legs, extend them in front of you, give them a shake. Come to lie onto your back and tent your knees. So your knees are wider than hip width apart, and they're leaning, your feet are wider than hip width apart, and your knees are leaning on one another like a tent. Extend your head back, lowering your neck towards the mat and aligning it with the rest of your spine. And scoot your tailbone down, also helping you to reduce the curve in your low back and lengthen your lower spine. Let your knees flop from side to side, windshield wipering. The next time you get to the left side, let your knees drop. Bring your arms out into goalposts or cactus arms alongside you and look towards your left or the opposite side to which your knees have dropped. This is a supine twist. Let your legs go heavy. And allow your body to breathe itself. Inhale, feel your whole belly inflate to come out of this twist. Bring your knees back into a tent position. And then exhale, drop your knees to the opposite side. Gaze looks the opposite way. Allow your legs to be heavy. And allow your breath to be natural. Inhale to come out of your twist. Exhale, bring your knees in and just rock from side to side for a moment, giving your back a nice little massage. Allow your head to twist with your body so even the back of your head gets a little bit of a massage. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow them to meet the earth. Knees fall to the sides of the room. Let your hands rest on whatever part of your body or the floor that feels right. For me, that's my mid-belly today. And allow yourself to be breathed, supported, held by the earth. Can you let go of the need to control this moment, to control your legs or your breathing? Let gravity hold you. Let your body breathe itself. Take your hands and close your legs like a book. Bring your left ankle over your right knee. Lift your right foot off the ground so you can wrap your hands around the back of your left thigh. And press your left elbow into your left thigh as you pull your right thigh in towards you. Remember your breath. Gently release the back of your thigh. Allow your right foot to meet the earth. Uncross your legs and let your left foot meet your right. Take a moment just to breathe. Center yourself. Bring your right ankle over your left thigh. Lift your left foot off the ground so you can wrap your hands behind your left thigh. Use your right elbow to push into your right thigh as you pull your left thigh towards you. Flex your toes towards your knees and breathe. Maybe invite a smile. Gently release your left foot towards the earth, your right foot. Take another moment just to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Come into stillness. Extend your legs out in front of you, wider than hip width apart, and let your feet fall to the sides of the room. Let your hands rest wherever feels right for you right now. restore. Find some movement in your fingers and your toes, your hands and feet, wrists and ankles. Bring your hands together overhead and your feet together. Give yourself a stretch. Then roll over onto your right side, using your bicep as a pillow. Give your heart a rest. Press into your hands and come up through a seated position. Hands together at heart center. Press into your hands and press your shoulder blades together, opening up your heart. And take a moment to bow into your heart and just thank yourself for coming here again today, for practicing, for waking up when it's not easy, getting moving when it's not easy. Doing the work makes your life easier. Thank you all for coming. The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I hope you all have a gorgeous day.